Cheap gaming laptops that promise a high frame rate experience often end up feeling like a disappointment once you actually try to play anything beyond a browser-based title. I've seen enough buyers regret the moment they open the box and discover the screen can't keep up, the battery dies after an hour, or the chassis starts to flex under a bit of pressure. So the question I keep hearing is, does the ThinkPad T1g Gen 8 feel like a smarter buy? Or is it just another overhyped piece of metal that will leave you wishing you'd spent a little more? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first heard about this machine, I was immediately skeptical because it carries the ThinkPad badge, traditionally a business-oriented line, yet it's loaded with an RTX 5070, a 3.2K OLED panel and a full 64GB of DDR5 RAM, which sounds more like a desktop replacement gaming rig. That tension between professional and gaming is where the real buyer hesitation lives. You're essentially trying to decide whether you want a laptop that can run your AI workloads, render 4K video, and still handle the latest AAA titles without turning your desk into a heatsink. Let's break down what that actually looks like in a day-to-day setting. The first thing you notice when you power this thing on is the 16-inch OLED screen. At 3200x2000 resolution and 600 nits of brightness, it delivers deep blacks and vibrant colors that make both game worlds and color-critical photo edits pop. The variable refresh rate ranging from 40 Hz up to 120 Hz is a nice touch. In practice, you'll see smoother motion in fast-paced shooters, and the lower end of the range helps conserve battery when you're just browsing or working in office apps. I tried a few titles Cyberpunk 2077 Elden Ring, and Valorant, and the RTX 5070 kept frame rates above 60 frames per second on high settings, which is impressive for a laptop that still fits into a backpack. But the OLED panel isn't a free win. While 600 nits is plenty for indoor lighting, step outside on a sunny day and you'll notice some glare, especially because the screen is glossy. If you travel a lot and plan to work in cafes or airport lounges, you might need a matte screen protector or accept that the display is best enjoyed in controlled lighting. The same trade-off shows up in the battery department. With a 96 Wh pack, the T1g can push roughly 6 to 7 hours of mixed-use gaming sessions. Will cut that down to 2 or 3 hours. That's a lot better than many older gaming laptops, but you still have to plan charging breaks if you want to game on the go. Now, the performance side. The Intel Ultra 9285H vPro processor is a 12-core beast that shines in multi-threaded workloads. I ran a quick AI inference test using a small language model, and the system crunched through the data in a fraction of the time I'd expect from a typical 12th Gen i7. Pair that with 64GB of DDR5 RAM, and you've got headroom for massive datasets, virtual machines, or a multi-monitor workstation setup without hitting the swap file. The 4TB Gen5 SSD is another practical strength. It's not just about having a massive storage bucket, but also about the speed. Games load in seconds, large video files copy almost instantly, and the NVMe drive stays cool enough that it doesn't add noticeable heat to the chassis. Speaking of heat, that's where the hidden trade-off lives. The RTX 5070 is a powerful GPU, and under sustained load the laptop's fans spin aggressively. The ThinkPad's classic dual-fan system does a respectable job keeping temperatures in the 80-90 C range during a marathon gaming session, but you'll notice the fan noise, a low-level whine that becomes a hum you can hear even if you wear headphones. If you're sensitive to noise while recording voiceovers or streaming, you might have to dial back the graphics settings or accept the background fan sound. Another practical detail, the 5MP webcam with a privacy shutter. On paper it's a nice upgrade from the usual 720p sensors, and it actually captures a clear, sharp image for video calls. However, the sensor sits low on the bezel, which can give you an unflattering angle if you're not using a tripod or external monitor. The privacy shutter is a thoughtful inclusion. Just slide it closed when you're not on a call, and you'll feel a little more secure. So who should really consider spending on this ThinkPad?